in the church of God. This isn't just out in churchianity. I'm not really too bothered about churchianity. We get a second introduction to the Nicolaitans in verse 15 of chapter 2. So hast thou also them that hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. So God says He hates it. Of course He does. As I say, look at our videos, look at our documents. Go and see it there for yourself. As I said, control and manipulation is idolatry. I can't remember if it's a video or a document now that I've done on it. Because we are setting ourselves above God, doing things that He doesn't Himself do. So, is this just an intellectual thing, a point that I'm trying to make here? Well, no. Well, it isn't. You see, I asked at the very beginning, would God fight against His church? Because we know that in Jeremiah 25:31 it says that God has a controversy with the nations. That's what it says. And He says He's going to fight against them. Let's see, shall I turn there for a moment? And Jeremiah 25:31. I've used this so many times, so many times. See, it says, a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth. Well, we're seeing that, aren't we? We're seeing Burma, we're seeing China, we're seeing massive damage from a cyclone in India. The tornadoes are continuing in the central United States. So He says He's got a controversy, and He will give those that are wicked to the sword. But will He fight with His church? We see He did with the world, the nations. He started doing it. This is judgment. This is tribulation. Well, it says in verse 16, repent, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will fight against them with the sword of my mouth. Now we can read that quickly. Who is the them that is going to be fought against? These are people in the church. See, if we look at verse 15, it says, this is to the church in Pergamos. So hast thou also them that hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. Okay? Them, the Nicolaitans, those who hold fast to this control and manipulation, this I am up here, you are down here. It's not a brotherhood, I have got the whip hand. Okay? Verse 16, repent, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will fight against them. Who is them? This is the same them, this is verse 16, as in verse 15. Them who hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans. So right inside the church, God says that I will fight against them with the sword of my mouth. See, people keep telling me about this is the Old Testament, is no longer applicable and we're now under grace. I have been told to do something on grace, and I will be doing it very shortly. But grace isn't license. We must obey. That is the quickest way to get people to switch off from this video, switch off from the document, switch off from anything. Mention the word obey. But here it tells us, because we are doing things we should not be doing, God will fight us with the sword of His mouth. We don't want that. I said that recently. We don't want to hear God say something like that. We have read over it, haven't we? You see, in verse 14, it then tells us there about them, another set of them in the church. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. Balaam. What was Balaam all about? Balaam was about working for money. He was prepared to curse the children of Israel for money. That's what he was about. That's what 2 Peter says. You know, if you look in 2 Peter, you'll see it in there. The doctrine of Balaam is that he was about making money. You find it in 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 15, which have forsaken, talking about the people there. Again, you know, all the New Testament is to the church, isn't it? Having eyes full of adultery that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls, a heart they have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children which have forsaken the right way and gone astray. This is the church. Following the way of Balaam the son of Bosor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. Of course, he was into cursing the nation of Israel for money. You'll find that in Numbers. If you want to go back to Numbers, you can quite easily go there and read the whole thing. But he was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass speaking with man's voice forbade the madness of the prophet. So in the church, we are finding here now, we've got Jews who say they're not Jews. We have got control and manipulators, the Nicolaitans. That's why, you see, it is a nonsense for a member of a church who say you've come across the website, for argument's sake, and you have seen it, or you might have been just reading your own Bible and you've seen it, and you go up to your minister and say, you know, well, Pastor, I don't understand it. Minister this, what, Apostle, whatever it is he wants to call himself, I don't understand this. You are saying, and he says, oh, you don't want to worry with that. You don't go to the fox and ask it if it's a good idea to kill chickens in a hen coop, do you? But can you see how we've got a huge problem in the church? Revelation 2:3. That's chapters 2 and 3. You move down to verse 20 of chapter 2. It's now saying, you know, God first of all declares who He is at the beginning of each message to the church. Then He tells them, yes, I know what you're doing, I know how you are, you're patient, you're this, you're that. In verse 20 it says, notwithstanding I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication, and to eat things sacrificed unto idols.